Hi everybody, this is Justin Roth from jamplay.com. I'm here today to demonstrate a little sneak peek from my upcoming course, which is all about creating more interesting and expressive acoustic arrangements. In this example, I want to be demonstrating a little bit about tone control, which is primarily focused on what we do with our right hand while we're playing, specifically in our strumming patterns. The way that I look at the acoustic guitar, in addition to being just a harmonic instrument, there's a lot of different ways that we can affect the tone. Like a piano player has pedals to change the tone. We have our right hand. And so in this example, the way I look at the guitar, I kind of think of it in two different planes. We have the horizontal plane as well as the vertical plane from low to high. So for first example, the horizontal plane, it's referring to where we strum our guitar. Now typically, if you're a right-handed guitar player, well, right or left-handed, we more or less we strum usually over right around the sound hole. It's not an exact science, but the thing that is exact about this is that the further from the bridge that we strum, meaning if we're strumming out here out on the neck, the darker it is, meaning it's less bright, it's less shimmery. And the closer to the bridge that we strum, the brighter and more shimmery it is. Especially if we're playing with the pick and we have a little more attack, but the strings just ring out a lot brighter there than they do there. So when would we do this? We would, in a song, when we're trying to create just some contrast, whether it's from a verse to a chorus or just from changing from one chord to the next, and we want to create not only the harmonic change but the tonal change. So just for one example, let's just hear the difference if I were to alternate strumming on the darker part up here on the neck and then alternating certain accents back on the brighter side. So I kind of think of as using the brighter ones usually as more of an accent, a way to create like a splash of color in the strumming pattern. So that's one kind of tonal variation along the horizontal plane. Now if we flip it to the vertical plane, meaning from low to high, typically we learn our chords, and most of the chord charts that we learn, it involves 4, 5, or 6 strings showing us where to play the chord. And again, I'm just going to cue off of playing a C chord here. But just because that's how we play the chord and what it says the chord is, it doesn't mean we have to play all of those strings all the time when we're executing the chord. This is a way to treat the acoustic guitar not as a static chordal instrument where it has to be the whole chord all the time, all throughout the song. And instead of creating that contrast of the darker to the brighter for accents, now we can think of cueing our chords or playing our chords and creating an accent by alternating between the lower strings. You could more or less say the low bottom 3 strings, for example, because that's kind of hinting at what our chord is. And the top strings is where we do our accents. So it might sound like this. The way that we can contrast that is to say, like, what if we were just to strum all the strings all at once? And let's just see how that sounds. Now I'm going to change it up by doing the low to high along the vertical plane. In the horizontal plane, the darker to brighter. So be sure to tune in and catch my upcoming live course on creating more expressive acoustic guitar arrangements, where we'll be talking more about right hand technique, tone control, hammer-ons and pull-offs, alternate tunings, partial capos, finger picking, and many more things to make your guitar arrangements more interesting and compelling.